Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? So as you know, if you've been watching my YouTube channel, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service, you'll know that I'm looking at the different types of therapy. And someone said yesterday that there are at least 250 different types of therapy approaches. So I'm not going to be able to talk about all of them, but I'm looking at the main counselling modalities used. And today I want to look at solution-focused therapy. So solution-focused therapy is a short-term, goal-focused, evidence-based therapeutic approach. So it usually can last anything from 6 sessions to normally maybe sometimes up to 3 months. But I'd say that usually most organizations would say 6 to 8 weeks is where they would use solution-focused therapy. So unlike person-centered therapy, which is where the counselor believes that the clients have the answers to their own issues. Within person-centered therapy, it's all based on the idea that the counselor, once the client has the space, the time, the counselor is providing them with unconditional positive regard, empathy, congruence, and a non-judgmental attitude, that they will come to their own conclusion and they will feel better about their situation. Solution-focused therapy is slightly different. It's more directive. It's also to help the client construct solutions rather than focusing on the problem. So the whole idea is that whatever problem someone has, there's always multiple options and multiple solutions to help with that problem. However, the client isn't aware of that. They don't know what the possible outcomes are. So the counsellor helps clients to recall when they've overcome challenges. So if a client is saying, I don't know how I'm ever going to find, the answer to this problem. I don't know how I'm going to get over this breakup. I don't know how I'm going to, be able to function in this relationship, or I don't know this or whatever. One of the questions or the approaches that solution-focused therapists would use is to say to the client, is there any other time where you've been in a similar situation and you've overcome it? Or they might not say it in that way. They might just say, tell me a time in your life where you felt that you've been able to overcome a challenge. Tell me some of your strengths that you have. So it's helping the client build the tools or find some of the answers towards those solutions, but you're doing it in a very, you're not going direct, you're doing it in a very subtle way. It also helps clients to visualize a better future or a positive outcome. Now, sometimes there's an approach within solution-focused therapy called the miracle question. So you would say to your client, if you went to bed tonight and you woke up in the morning and the issue was resolved, what would be different? What would you be doing? What would it look like? So you're helping the client to almost think of, okay, well, if I went to bed at night and I woke up in the morning and I no longer was feeling stuck about my relationship breakup, I would be happier. I would be walking around and I'd be focused on the things that I really want to focus on. I'd be doing A, B, and C. So when the client is actually sharing that with you, they're already solving the problem unconsciously, because they're saying that there is a possibility that this problem can be solved, but I just don't know it yet. So the miracle question is very powerful. It also helps clients to generate options. So you don't say to the client, well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? That's not how it works. What you do is you might say to the client, well, how would it feel if you went in that direction? Or have you considered this? Or what are some of the options you think? So a good question might be to say to the client, what do you think is the reason that you are feeling like this? And they might say, I don't know, that's why I'm here. So you would say, okay, well, if you did know, what might it be? Or if you had to guess, that's a really good question that I use. I'll say, if you had to guess at why you feel the way you do, what would be your best guess? And they'll always come up with something, because you're not saying to them to figure it out. You're saying, what would you be doing? What's your estimated guess about this situation? So what's good about solution focused is it's short term. It means you can't build the same depth of relationship with your clients because it's only 6 sessions or 8 sessions. But what it does mean is you're both on the same page. You both know you've got a limited amount of time to work together. So I've found that clients put more effort into working harder when they know they've only got 6 sessions. And I think it is just more a different way of working. It's also more directive. So if you're not someone as a client that likes the idea of it being more directed, then you probably would work with something more like person-centered. But if this is something which you do like, then to me, I'd say solution-focused therapy is a good way of working. It usually gets results. It's short-term therapy. So yeah, find out more. You can go online. There's lots of information about this. You can Google it. But I just wanted to give you a brief overview of solution-focused therapy.